President says, yes, we can sit together tonight, but can we work together tomorrow? Well, today is that tomorrow he was speaking of. So can they work together? I want to bring in now to ask that question the House Majority Leader, Eric Cantor, joining me from Capitol Hill. I know you had a late night. We appreciate you taking the time with us this morning. I know you've been to a number of these State of the Union addresses before. Given all the talk of civility and people sitting together, did it actually feel different in that chamber last night?
Well, TJ, it was always a momentous occasion when the president comes to Capitol Hill. I mean, last night, we're still on the heels of a very tragic incident with our colleague, Gabby Gifford, and others in Tucson. And I think there is certainly an amount of reverence that all of us have for that terrible situation. And I do also think the gravity of the challenges that we face as a country did have some impact on the tenor of last night's session.
Well, sir, there are times in all these speeches where everybody can agree, and there are certain applause lines that everybody will get up and clap on when the military is honored or things like that. But what did you hear from the president besides those lines that made you jump up out of your seat and enthusiastically applaud the president?
Overall, the president talked about a way to a better future. And, TJ, I'm a father of 3 teenagers, and that's certainly my first priority. There's a lot of areas that he and I will disagree. I think I probably want to cut spending more than he does. I have a different view on how we improve health care in this country. But I do think that the president put forward some ideas that we Republicans can work with him on.
Which ones?
As far as job creation, he talked about lowering the corporate rate. He talked about simplifying the tax code. He talked about working together on these trade deals so we can get jobs going here at home. These are the kind of things that the American people want us to work on to get this economy going again. And I look forward to working together. After all, TJ, I think that like the president, I'm a results-driven kind of guy. I want to see something done.
Well, Mr. Cantor, you sound like you're striking this morning a conciliatory tone. Mr. Ryan last night in the GOP response sounded the same. But then in Michelle Bachmann's tone, it was different from the one I'm hearing from you and the one I was hearing from Mr. Ryan last night. Do you wish she had not done that?
TJ, all members of Congress have an ability to speak out as far as their views on the direction of this country. After all, we're elected to represent the will of the people that actually we represent. So, I don't fault anyone for taking their message to the people that elect them. And I do think, though, we can all work together. There are differences. TJ, we've got priorities that the Republicans have put forward, and we believe that first things first, you got to cut spending, and you got to cut it a lot more than what the president has advocated. Well, certainly we'll have some disagreements, but I do think we can all move forward together, get people back to work, and actually produce that better future that the president talked about.
Well, sir, last thing on that tone and on the Tea Party response that Ms. Bachmann gave last night, is there some way you think that not even overshadowed, but in some way was competing against the official GOP response? Her tone was certainly different from the official GOP response. And are you bothered that CNN broadcast her response, thereby elevating it in some way?
I'm not bothered at all, TJ, about CNN's covering it or any other network. I think this response that Michelle Bachmann had echoed the official response of Paul Ryan. We are about trying to cut spending, focus on jobs and the economy, shrink the government so we can expand economic freedom and liberty for all and get people back to work. Right. That's what we're about, and we should all be results-oriented to try and make that happen.
Well, Majority Leader Cantor, we appreciate you taking the time. Certainly a lot of people watching you all closely, pulling for you, and hope some civility can prevail long-term. But thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, TJ.
All right, Karen.